What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's Hustler DCUO commentary. I'm bringing this video here today because I'm going to bring you a recording I did actually from a live stream that I did back yesterday, which was day one for update 37. And I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the Earth changes and everything that we got with update 37, specifically the tanking side of it. However, I did want to make sure I did showcase some of the DPS in some way. You know that my alt's not exactly geared for DPSing, but however, I did invite Ice Smitty, the greatest from my league. He's a beast DPS player, one of the best ones I know in the game. So I wanted to make sure that I brought him along to at least so you guys can see how Earth DPS can do some very good burn with this update. I think right here he was testing out a crushing loadout, so you guys can see how that does. However, myself though, I'm going to talk with you guys about the tanking side of it, specifically the pet tanking side of it, because the pet tanking side of it got a serious buff and all that with this update. So I definitely wanted to check it out and see how it is. This of course is an alt and everything. I didn't switch my main over. I won't switch my main from Rage until Fire gets some love, which hopefully is coming soon. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, yeah, definitely want to talk to you here about the Earth tanking side. Pet tanking is back. I will say this because they wanted to make sure that because Earth was supposed to be, from the get-go, a honest to God pet tanking power, that they wanted to make sure that it was definitely brought in as such. So that's definitely the side of it they worked on the most. So you see right here, we're running with a loadout that I don't know. You may agree with me on it. You may not. That's up to you. But this is a loadout here that I think works really well for tanking with brick out there. So let's go ahead and we'll talk about the loadout from left to right. Starting with the first one, Epicenter. Epicenter is a very good AoE aggro pull power. Works similar to Backdraft with Fire's Backdraft. Pulls adds in, around you and all that. Does damage to an AoE around you. So it can definitely help you hold on to aggro, especially when you're dealing with like three bosses like this that some of them may sit back, away from you a little bit and all that. It keeps their attention on you in that area, even if you're not right up on top of them. But definitely a good power to use for tanking. The next up I have here is Totem. Totem is an essential power, especially for pet tanking, simply because if you don't have your Totem out and all that, your brick may not survive. Simply because some healers, they don't always hit, the large group heals that go out there that might heal your pet. Not saying that healers are being douchebags doing that, because I don't think they are, but there's some heals and all that don't target your pet. I know like powers like for electricity, like Galvanize. Galvanize will heal the pets up. So, but not every healer is out there making sure that your pet is staying alive. They're more worried about you staying alive, which is a good thing as well. So yeah, you definitely want to put Totem out there. Totem does an AoE effect around it wherever you cast it on. It stays wherever you cast it, so you can't think about picking it up and moving it around with you. It does an AoE effect, does a knock up and everything. But the most important thing about it is that it provides some healing for your brick. So you definitely want to make sure that you use it. The next power that I have out is Reinforce. Now a lot of people may wonder, why are you using Reinforce and all that? It's more of a DPS move. Yeah, Reinforce does increase your precision and your critical damage. However, the tanking side of Reinforce is very beneficial because it's one of the few, if not the only, tanking power in the game that actually provides added protection for one of your group members. So you definitely want to make sure that you keep that out there. It's like I said. It's the only power. It's the only tank power in the game that does it. And I wish there were more powers in the other tanks that the other tank powers had. that did this as well. But what Reinforce does when you're in tank stance is it provides added protection to you, whichever one of your group members has the lowest health percentage. All right, so like if you have a member who's got the lowest health percentage in your group and everything, you cast Reinforce. Some of the damage that he takes is going to go onto you instead, which I think is freaking awesome. That's something I think tanks should be able to do more of in PvE. Is take the damage for your group, not just hold aggro and all that and keep the attention, but take some of the damage for that group member. That's one of the things I really love about Earth is Reinforce. Reinforce alone makes me fall in love with it. It makes me fall in love with Earth hanging out. And you can see right here in the bottom right corner, Mr. Breeze right there. Actually, that's what the effect of Reinforce is on a player with the lowest health percentage. They kind of get like a rock armor around them. And that alone right there, that looks really cool as well. So I definitely like that. I definitely like Reinforce for Earth tanking. The next power of my loadout, obviously, that is Brick and all that. I keep him out there at all times and everything. Brick will help you hold aggro. It'll keep aggro off of you sometimes, and but he will help you keep aggro on ads and bosses and everything. He does great attacks and all that. Does AOE damage and all that. Block breaks, all that stuff. Brick is a beast. You definitely want to have him in your loadout. The next power I have here is Earthen Grip. Now, I have a couple of issues with Earthen Grip simply because, not because of its ability. Its ability to pull an ad is very good, but the problem I have with it is a single target pull. It will only pull one target towards you instead of a group of targets. Like Ice's Inescapable Storm will pull a group of targets to an ice tank. Rage's Ragebringer will pull a group of targets to you. All right, also get their attention. Earthen Grip, however, it only pulls one target to you. In a way, it works kind of like Ragebringer does in regards that if you pull them and all that, they may get yanked up over your head and way behind you and all that. But for the most part, and all that, they get pulled to you. Another issue I have with Earthen Grip, though, is that it is, on top of it only being a single pull, the cooldown on it is very long, I feel, for the power. Ragebringer in particular, have you guys seen me use Rage before and all that and tank with it? Ragebringer pulls multiple ads, and you can use it a lot. You can almost spam the damn thing. Earthen Grip, though, it has a much longer cooldown than Earthbringer does. I don't understand why that is. I honestly don't. I do feel I really wish that they would decrease the cooldown on Earthen Grip, because it would make it a lot easier to use it to pull multiple ads, because you can only pull one at a time. So if you have to pull a bunch of ads to you, or get aggro on a couple of bosses that are far away from you, and you need to get them over to a certain area, being able to use Earthen Grip much quicker would be a lot more beneficial to Earth tanking, I feel. And then, of course, on that, the last power here we're going to talk about is Fortified Golem. Fortified Golem is essential for making sure that Brick is doing his job. Alright, so on top of having Totem out there to make sure that Brick is catching heals and everything to help him stay alive and keep his health up, you need to make sure that you're using Fortified Golem. Fortified Golem not only increases Brick's defense and all that, but it also provides him power back over time. And obviously, power over time, and all that, when he's getting power back, he's going to be able to help you maintain aggro, help you by taking extra damage off of you, and all around, being able to, just do his job, kicking butt. Like, watch this, Brick's going to go run off over there, and he's going to finish off this hound right here. So, yeah, definitely want to make sure that you have Fortified Golem out there to help Brick out, to help Brick do his job. So right here and all that, this is speaking of fun and all that, like I said, we were live streaming this, and lo and behold, oh my god, Meps came in and decided to troll my stream and summoned in a bunch of Doomsdays, and this immediately made us all think about the animated movie Superman Batman Apocalypse, when Darkseid boom tubed all those Doomsdays on the Themyscira. So I guess Mepside decided to do the same thing to us and all that, and he really sold it. Unfortunately, I don't know what kind of NPCs, what kind of commands he had and all that, but they were squish. They were squish. So nice troll, man. But it was, maybe if they were a little bit tougher. Right here and all that, somebody wanted to see what my stats were. You saw my stats right there and all that when I'm not buffed or anything like that. These are my stats when I am buffed. I have casted power. Earth tanking, obviously, you get 1 point of defense or toughness for every point of dominance you have. And with 1824 dominance, that's quite the hefty buff right there to your defense. I believe I had 11,000 when I'm buffed like that. So lots of fun, lots of fun. So right here, I've sped this up because, we all know this boss fight here takes forever. So I'm not going to bore you overly with it. One thing I will say, this Cyclops, I hate that Cyclops in here. Whenever I'm tanking this boss in here, as the Cyclops is out, I just focus on to Cersei instead. And try to catch this Cyclops on with the combat mechanics as quick as best I can. But yeah, with this, so now, a lot of people were wondering, I'm sure, and Mr. Breeze was asking me too and all that. He was asking, he has noticed I was taking a lot of damage during it, and especially during that Phoenix fight earlier. And I told him, I was like, I'm not really blocking that much because I was just trying to see, how much I could take, how much damage, punishment, I could take and all that without, getting, too close to dying and all that. I wanted to see how effective Brick was. That's one of the things you want to do when you're testing out a new power and all that, and you're testing out new loadouts and everything. You want to, push it to, its absolute limits to see how, close you can get to dying or almost dying, or, as much damage as you can do, or as much power out as you can do, or as much healing as you can do. You just want to test those things out. So, he asked me if I wanted him to stop healing and everything. And I was like, no. I was like, because I know normally people are running this alert with 2 DPS and no healer and everything. And obviously, if we didn't have a healer in the group, I probably would have been playing a lot more safer with my blocking and everything like that. But because we had a healer in the group, I felt I could push myself a little bit to the limit and help out with the damage as much as possible. I'm using weapon mastery as much as I can in here, not just do extra damage, but to also try to make sure that I can save myself some power. And as you can see, everybody's blue bars are like filled up this whole entire time, and this is so frustrating and annoying when Cersei just decides to I'm not gonna attack the tank. I'm just gonna randomly lunge everybody else in your group but the tank. But this was a really good run and all that. I want to thank Meps again for stopping by to help and trolling my stream a little bit and everything. Everybody was very entertained by that, including myself and everybody in my group. We had a blast. The only issue we ended up having in this alert was Smitty DC'd shortly after the fight with all those Doomsdays. But still, it was a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun streaming. I'm going to try and get into streaming more and everything like that, showcase changes and everything and powers and all that. I'm really liking Update 37 so far, especially the the Earth changes and all that. They are awesome. They are awesome. But that's just about it right here. We're about ready to take down Cersei and everything. And aren't you glad I sped it up, because we'd be here for another 5 minutes if I hadn't. But anyways, yes, we'd have had this done in half an hour if Smitty hadn't DC'd and we hadn't stopped to see if Meps was going to spawn in more Doomsdays on us or anything like that. But it was definitely a good run. You can see right there by Smitty's damage and all that. He was putting up them numbers and doing a good job. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you got any suggestions and all that, or different ideas or takes on Earth tanking with pets and all that, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and all that. And we can talk a little bit about it and all that. Maybe I'll bring it up on a future video. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked the video, please do so by giving it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Until next time, you guys all take care. Bye.